Hello, Jeremy.
Yes.
Hey.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. I don't know what happened before, but we couldn't hear you. I don't know whether you could hear me or not.
Hi, Jeremy.
Oh, you know, technical difficulties.
Yes, I know. Yeah, that's what they say. Well, we have three other Patriots here. We have Roy, who usually does our live stream, and Jericho Steve, who live streams some in DC. Also, he does like freelance vigils and live streaming. And then we have Tom, who does a weekly live stream at Northern Neck in Virginia.
Oh, okay, awesome.
So,
Well, you know, I plan on addressing patriots such as those gentlemen that you just mentioned. So,
good.
so yeah, I'm excited that you're having me. So.
Yes. Well, we're excited that you were able to call in today. So go ahead.
You are live.
All right, well, great. So today, I just wanted to provide everybody with a few updates. I'm sure many of you may know them, but many of you may not. So I want to tie those updates, tie those into my situation so that we're not fooled by, you know, what seems to be the constant telling us what they think we want to hear and then actually never actually delivering on it. So the first update I want to talk about is the new House leader, Mike Johnson, apparently has made commitments to gradually release footage. Now, of course, when I first heard this news, I was told he's going to release he's already released all the footage, right? But now today I heard on the Fox News Top of the Hour report that the plan is actually to release it in chunks over the next few months. And if this is anything like the congressional budget negotiations, what it really just means is that they may just keep kicking the can down the road in perpetuity. But what I wanted to say is that even this verbal commitment is a small victory for you all. See, you, the American people, are the ones that have forced the new Speaker in the House to at least verbalize a commitment, whether true or false, but has made a public statement to do something that Congress has tried for nearly 3 years to not do. I mean, hell, before you know it, they might actually pass a budget. So I want everyone to know that this is good and that this is a small victory, but it isn't good enough. And we need to keep increasing this pressure. Now that we've been shown that it works, we need to take this and let it strengthen us and continue to push forward. See, they will only listen to us when we continue to be the bug in their ear and we replace the donor class as the people they fear the most. And so this is a good sign, but it's very far from a complete victory, so therefore we must continue to push. You see, we don't want just promises of investigations. We want public exposure with teeth and actual accountability for all who knew and either actively or have passively participated in this secret military coup against you, the American people. So, keep up the good work. We've got them on their heels. Now we just have to keep pushing them until they either do the right thing or they fall down in embarrassment.
Amen, that's right.
The next thing I'd like to talk about is independent journalists that are out there. Independent journalists like Steve Baker, Emerald Robinson, and Laura Logan, and so many more. I wish I could mention them all, or we'd be here all day long. Independent outlets like the Gateway Pundit, Lindell TV, and InfoWars, and many, many more. Again, if I mentioned them all, we'd be here all day. And then, of course, the citizen journalist podcasters that have had the courage or to use military nomenclature, ask questions, and give voices to people like me. This is a long list, But if you want to know who these people that are bold enough to speak out, bold patriots who are just simply trying to ask questions and get to the truth, then all you have to do is go to my legal defense website, jeremybrowndefense.com, because everyone who has had the courage to actually ask me, so what's your story? Tell us about what happened to you. We post those interviews on there so you can find them all. These people are seeking not only the truth, right? They're seeking the truth, not the acceptance, permission, or the false narrative of the system, or as Orwell referred to it, the party. So I want to congratulate all of those out there, like John that you mentioned at the beginning of this, for being the megaphones of which voices like mine can be shouted through in order to reach the American people.
Amen.
And Jeremy, it's our privilege to be able to afford you that opportunity and access to making your voice be heard.
Well, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And so, I've been running a podcast out of my jail cell here in hopes of continuing to spread this voice. And recently on our podcast, we showcased one of these fine patriots, Laura Logan. Laura is a well-established voice in the mainstream media. She cut her teeth at 60 Minutes, has been a war correspondent, has won awards and all kinds of things. And now she's out on her own. Why? Because, she got too close to too many truths, which means her attendance in the mainstream media was no longer appreciated. But she's recently released an expose into many of the topics pertaining to January 6th. But our most recent one has been on Ray Epps and the massive setup and cover-up of January 6th. Now, whether she did it inadvertently or intentionally, and of course I have my opinion, she actually used a tried and true interrogation technique. That interrogation technique I taught to my young daughters, which is, if I ask you the question, I already know the answer. You see, in her last episode that we showcased on Thursday, she had a member of Congress who was emphatic that he is getting to the bottom of this setup and cover-up. But she asked him a question she already knew the answer to. She said, are you really going to get to the bottom of this? Because we're going to be watching. She even warned us. We're going to be watching. You see, Laura knows that I've reached out to many members of Congress. For the last 2 years, my team has direct and indirect communications with all the members of Congress that you see on Fox News all the time. All the big names claiming that they're going to investigate this and going to investigate that. All the ones making these claims. She knows I've talked to them. I've told her because she's interviewed me. Something that they, in 2 years, have refused to do. We've offered them my evidence, my discovery, and my professional expert opinion and testimony as to what I believe happened to January 6th and what I know happened to me prior to January 6th. One congressman has visited me since I've been incarcerated for now nearly 780 days. He visited me before my conviction. And when he asked me, well, what do you want me to do? I simply said, go and talk to your colleagues that are investigating this. They need to know my story. What were the results? Well, there's another military term. We call it crickets.
Yeah.
Silence.
Yeah.
That was over a year ago that I had this conversation with this congressman. And so let me just read to you the warning that I gave to my trial judge at my sentencing when given the opportunity to address the judge directly on April 7th of 2023. Now, it was a long dissertation Constitution, we might say, but this is just a small portion. This is the actual warning I gave directly to the judge. So let me read directly from the transcript of this event. I quote, Judge Buckley, you and I have taken the same oath to support and defend the same Constitution and the same rights and liberties it protects. And we've taken this oath for very likely the same reasons, to secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our children. You and I have children we love that have chosen lifestyles that some people and some laws have not agreed with. You took a stand against the state law because you believed it violated your child's liberty. And now that law is no more. I applaud your stand for liberty. I am making the same stand right now against the FBI's violation of everyone's liberty in hopes of stopping these insidious encroachments upon mine and my children's rights. And they have targeted me, arrested me, and are seeking to destroy me. The truth will come out, and it's coming out more and more each day. When it does, the question will be, and when did they know? Judge Buckley, these prosecutors have attempted to deceive you and the jury with enough success to receive and secure a flawed conviction. Now, they are hoping you don't understand what this trial is part of or the true reason for their malicious prosecution. But if you give me a chance by giving me a sentence of time served, I will not rest until the truth is fully exposed. Today is my 555th day in jail, 482 of which I was held in maximum security. But with a sentence of time served, you will free me to continue to expose the truth, to correct this false conviction through the appellate process, and to uphold our oath to support and defend the Constitution of this great nation. I pledge my life, my fortune, and my sacred honor that when the final story of this chapter in our nation's history is written, you will be proud that your judgment today will have been the tipping point towards justice.
Amen.
Close quote.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's a great.
Instead of her taking that opportunity, she instead chose to give me 87 months in a federal prison. But see, on October 23rd of this year, just about a month ago, our appeal was filed in the 11th U.S. Circuit Court. That appeal brief can be found at my website. You can read for yourself the arguments that we will bring before the 11th Circuit, and if necessary, the United States Supreme Court. These arguments are based strictly on the violation of constitutional rights, the supreme law of the land, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the Second Amendment. You see, like I told the judge, the truth will come out. And the FBI and DOJ believe that their 87-month conviction was going to somehow keep me quiet or keep me locked away in some prison where no one would ever hear about me. But see, thanks to you, every single day, a new person learns about my story. In fact, I did a 3-hour-long interview with a gentleman from Michigan who's run for governor who has 500,000 followers. He had no idea who I was until just a couple of weeks ago when a local supporter of mine who happened to know him mentioned me, and now he knows all about me. So every day is an opportunity to achieve one more small victory. And the truth is coming. Where will you stand? So I know you said I have 30 minutes, so let me call back and I'll be more than happy to take any questions if you have any.
Okay, Jeremy.
The caller has hung up.